Are you a fan of the Dragon Ball Super card game? If so, check out QueenCityGaming.com for sealed product, singles, and more. Just use promo code MafubaJar-10 to save 10% off your order every time.
Welcome back to the Mafuba Jar. We've been sitting away for another awesome deck profile. And today, guys, we're over here at our locals, going to be taking a look at the brand new, very arguably top tier Cabba deck. Now, the whole Universe 6 engine in general that we got in this new set is absolutely disgusting. Like, we're talking Super Saiyan 3 Goku level disgusting of what this deck can do. And this Cabba here came from the expert deck, I almost said structure deck, but there's a difference between starter and experts. And Cabba was the expert. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the Cabba leader here does. By the way, I'm very happy about this because this has been on my wish list of leaders forever. Because Cabba is my favorite Universe 6 Saiyan, and he's honestly the most realistic out of the three. So his premise is that you can't include non-Universe 6 battle cards in your deck except for Vegeta cards, which that's no big deal at all because all the Universe 6 cards here are busted. The other is when a blue or yellow Universe 6 card is played in your battle area, that card gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn, then choose up to one card in your life, add it to your hand. So it gains the boost no matter what, but you have the choice to take a life or not. So say if you already have 4 life and you don't want to take any more, you don't have to. So that's really, really awesome. And he awakens at 4 life and he restands 2 energy, which for Universe 6, that's major. Like that's the best kind of awakening for them. And the Awakened side here, love the artwork. It's Vegeta and Cabba, Master and Pupil. And yes, this card is both a Vegeta and Cabba card. Permanence, this card gains 5,000 power when all of your opponent's energy is in rest mode. When this card attacks, you draw a card. Second auto, when your opponent's leader attacks, if all of your opponent's energy is in rest mode, choose up to 2 of your opponent's energy. Cards chosen with this skill cannot be switched to active mode during your opponent's next charge phase. So this really helps out with the energy stun part of Universe 6. And the final auto is that when one of your card skills switches an opponent's battle card or energy to rest mode, you get to draw a card. So you have quite a few ways to draw cards, which is good because you're going to be going through quite a few cards. So that does it for the leader here. Very, very good leader. Arguably the best Universe 6 leader. And with that, let's get into the deck itself. Going to be running 4 copies of Planet Sadala. Now you can do this a couple ways. You can do the 4 copies of Planet Sadala, or I've seen people do 2 Sadala and 2 Planet Vegeta. Either way, perfectly fine. But regardless, Planet Sadala, at the very least for Cabba, is an absolute must. Because it's a 2-drop field, and it's got 2 autos. The first one is that when this card is placed in your battle area, you choose one Universe 6 card from your hand with an energy cost of 2 or less, play it, and if you did play a card, you get to draw a card. And the second auto is that when this card is placed in your drop area from a battle area, you choose one of your opponent's energy, switch to rest mode, then look at the top 5 of your deck and pick one Universe 6 with an energy cost of 5 or less and add it to your hand. So it's really important to play Planet Sadala on top of each other. Even if you don't have a Universe 6 card to play, you get the effect of listen and drop to tap one of their energies and look for a Universe 6. So multi-purpose here. And we do have some cards that get rid of fields. So if your opponent accidentally plays one of those that gets rid of this, that's better for you. And next up here, the super combo we're going to be running is Megetta, Defender of Universe 6. Now this is the super combo you're always going to see. Because this is a super combo that activates when you're at 5 life or less instead of 4. You draw a card and gain 10k. Basic story, all that stuff. It's a regular super combo for the most part, except for the 5 or less and the fact that it's searchable through a lot of cards. Alright, now one of the biggest core pieces of our deck is Sisterly Bonds Kale. And this is a 2-drop, preferably your biggest target when it comes to Planet Sadala. And the auto is when you play this card from your hand and your leader is a Universe 6, look at the top 10 cards from the top of your deck and choose up to 1 blue or yellow Cabba or Khalifa among them with an energy cost of 2 or less and play it. So this is very similar to the Saiyan Teamwork Cabba promo that we got a pretty while back. But it applies to Kale, it applies to Khalifa and Cabba. Whereas the Cabba one, you were only able to play a Khalifa. But to be fair, that was any Khalifa you could play. So it's got its ups, it has its ups and downs to the Saiyan Teamwork Cabba, but it's still a very good card nonetheless. Not to mention it's going to be the main Kale you use to evolve, which I'll explain in a bit. And one of the targets you can use for the Sisterly Bonds is going to be the 3 copies of Cabba, Sand of Universe 6. This guy's got 2 autos here, both pretty dang good. First one being when you play this card, look at the top 7 from your decks, use up to 2 blue or yellow Universe 6 cards among them, add them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Then if you added cards this way, you have to pitch a card. Second is that when you play this card, if plants a dollar is in your battle area, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards to rest mode, and it cannot be switched to active mode during the next turn, until the end of your opponent's next turn. So nothing they do could switch it until then. So this really could come in handy, especially against those gigantic swingers that are just really hard to deal with. And another perfect target for the Sisterly Bonds is going to be 3 copies of Kefla, Troublemaker of Universe 6. And she is also a 2-drop, and her auto is that when you play this card, you may choose 1 card in your life, add it to your hand. If you do, you get to choose up to 1 of your opponent's energy and switch it to rest mode. So you could either put down the Kale to play Kefla to do this, or just play the Kefla by itself. And it's another way to take life too. So you have both the leader's own skill to take life and a Kefla to take life as well. So you'll be awakened in no time with this deck, and that's scary. Alright, I'm also going to be running 3 copies of Kefla, the Bold Sister. Now, a lot of people run 4 of this. I personally have no problem with this at 3, because as soon as possible, I would rather just be playing my 2-drops instead of the 1-drop. But if you rather run 4, that's completely fine. Very good card. And permanent is that this card cannot be KO'd by your opponent's skills. So that really comes in handy, because you need to keep your Kefla and Kale on board as much as possible, as long as possible, until you're able to evolve. The auto is that when you play this card, you look at your top 5 for Universe 6 as blue or yellow, and you get to add it to your hand. So choose one of your main searches to the deck. Now we're going to be getting to our heavier hitters of the deck and the bigger core pieces. We're going to be running 3 copies of Champa and Vados Gracious Aid. Now I'm having a proxy one right now because I do have one coming soon, but it's running a little bit late. So Champa Vados pretty much almost glues the whole deck together. And so it has a rival blue-yellow, so you don't have to pay the 4-drop there. You have to have a blue and yellow card. You have to have blue and yellow cards in your combo area. You get to pay 1 yellow to play this. It's got Energy Exhaust, of course, and 2 permanents. First one being you reduce the combo cost of all blue and yellow Universe 6 cards in your hand by 1. So essentially anything Universe 6 you get to combo for free, as long as this is out. And to help keep this out, the second permanent is that if this card is removed from a battle area by an opponent's skill, you may choose 1 card from your hand and place it in the drop area instead. If you do, this card remains in the battle area, you switch it to rest mode, then you get to choose one of your opponent's energy and switch it to rest mode. So it protects itself from any kind of removal from skills. Only thing is it does not protect itself from being removed by battle. So if they get to the high enough numbers for battle and you can't combo up to it, this does still get removed. But still, like I said, one of the most powerful cards. Now again, a lot of people also do run this at 4. That's completely fine. I personally have never had any problem getting this out at 3. Not to mention, if I'm being honest, this guy's a little bit expensive. A lot of Universe 6 cards have severely just skyrocketed in price ever since the release. Ever since Gen Con, to where so much Universe 6 was there. So rightfully so, though, because the deck is amazing. Alright. And how we're going to be evolving is with, first off here, with the 4 copies of Kefla, the Awakened Sister. I say evolve, but it's not technically evolving. So it's a 4-drop with double strike, and it's got 2 outs. The first one being during your turn, at the end of a battle after you combo with this card, choose up to 1 yellow Kefla in your battle area and just play this card on top of it. So if you have the Champa Vados out and you have a Kefla already out, you get to combo with this for free and still play it on top of a Kefla. So you don't even have to spend the 1 energy. But even if you do have to spend 1 energy, it's not the worst in the world, because the second auto is pretty amazing. When you play this card, you get to choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or energy and switch it to rest mode. So again, Champa Vados helps out a lot, but paying 1 for that does not really hurt you at all, just because of how amazing that is. And of course, with Kefla, we need to have our 4 copies of Kale, the Awakened Sister. Now, same thing, 4-drop, critical instead of the double strike, which in some ways is better. The auto is the exact same as the Kefla. During your turn and battle, you choose up to 1 blue Kale and place it on top of it when you combo with this. Same exact thing. Second auto is that when you play this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, negate that card's skills for the duration of the turn, and return to its owner's hand. So a perfect example, say you're facing against Zamasu and they have Indestructible. You combo with this, play it. If the Zamasu happens to be a rest mode, you get to negate that skills and you get to bounce it back to the hand. So that's really, really cool. And I don't believe I'm pretty sure this can't do barrier, because it has to still choose the card first. So it can't hit things with barrier, but it can hit indestructible. It can hit things that say cannot be removed by skills, because you're going to go ahead and negate the skill anyway. So this is a lot of good stuff here. So that about does it for the Khalifa cards. Now we're going to get into the Kefla cards. So first off here, we got 3 copies of Kefla, the Peak of Perfection. It's got a rival blue-yellow there again for a single yellow, but you don't use that one as often. You mainly focus it for the first auto, which is when you come up with this card, if your leader card is a Universe 6 and it's your opponent's turn, you may choose one of your opponent's energy, switch it to rest mode, and if you do, your Kefla Peak of Perfection skills auto, skills will activate for the duration of the turn. So you basically can only use it once per turn. And with the Chambavadas, you combo it for free, and you get to just go ahead and rest one of their energies for no reason whatsoever, and it's honestly completely stupid. The second auto you don't use as much, but it is still pretty good. When you play this card during your turn, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest mode, then negate that card's skills until the end of your opponent's next turn. So if you do the whole arrival blue-yellow for a single yellow energy, you get to play this, get a 20k beater, and you get to negate skills. Again, it's really not bad. Like, I know I'm saying you're not going to use it as much, but like it is a pretty dang good skill. Not to mention, again, you get 1 energy, 20k beat stick. It is good, don't get me wrong. It's just, I personally find myself using the first auto way more. Alright. Next up here for Kefla, we are running 2 copies of Meteoric Energy Kefla and 2 copies of the promo Brilliant Pairing Kefla. Now, Meteoric Energy is mainly a beat stick that can stun. So it's a unit Patara of 1 yellow on top of a blue Kale and a yellow Khalifa with energy cost of 4 or more. So it has to be the combo ones that you use for that. And it has barrier, so that does help. It has the Aegis blue-yellow. And what Aegis is that you discard cards that match with, let's say, blue-yellow, so you have to pitch cards that match those colors, and you get to restand up to 2 of your energy depending on what you discarded. And it has been ruled that if you do discard a blue and yellow card, multi-card, you can still restand 2 energy because that meets the requirement for both. And the auto is the main reason why we play this. When this card activates Aegis, choose up to 3 of your opponent's energy and switch them to rest mode. So that can be really devastating right there, having just 3 of their energy completely tapped. And this really isn't hard to bring out at all. Not to mention you have a 30k beat stick with barrier, so this card's just honestly pretty stupid. Brilliant Pairing Kefla, arguably more stupid. So it's got dual attack, Union Patara, blue Kale, and yellow Khalifa. This is the first completely free Patara we've ever seen, and I think it's just completely stupid. So literally, if you have a blue Kale and yellow Khalifa, you don't even have to tap an energy, just plop. That's it. And it's a 19k dual attack. Like, that's really stupid. Permanent is that you can only have 1 of this out on the battle area, and it can't be played from any area unless your leader card is yellow, which I think that's perfectly fine. Because if you were able to have multiples of these out, then that would just be too insanely broken. So that does it for the Kefla stuff. And last up, we're going to be showing off the 1-ofs before we get into like the extra cards, the other extra card stuff. So I am going to be running 1 copy of Vegeta, a Master's Temperament, 1 copy of Power of Patara, Vegito, Kefla, and Zamasu, because this is a Universe 6 card, and 1 copy of KLD, Timid Sister. Now, I know a lot of you are going to probably be wondering why I'm only running 1 of the Timid Sister Kale, because it's a 1-drop that can't be KO'd by skills, and it's a really good one to combo with the 4-drop Kale. Truth is, I almost never see myself using this card at all. Like, its auto is okay. So when you play this card, you choose up to 1 blue or yellow Universe 6 and your drop area with energy cost of 3 or more, and add to your hand. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad card. It's just with this particular leader, I haven't really found myself using it much. Now, say if you're playing Hit, you could use this a little bit more. And if you're going for the wacky idea that's kind of floating around now with the red Kefla leader, then you get to use this a lot. So it really depends on the leader you're using. Like I said, Cabba, I find myself using this the least. But I still want it in here because it can come in handy. And again, it is the 1-drop that can't be KO'd. So again, it is a good target for the 4-drop KO. And as far as the secret right here goes, it's just really amazing. Triple strike. If your opponent has 6 or more energy or has 6 or more cards in rest mode, which the second part's going to be way easier because we put everything in rest mode, you reduce his cost by 3. When you play this card, choose up to 4 of your opponent's cards, switch them to rest mode, then draw 4 cards. Which, again, that's what we do already. We put things in rest mode, so this helps out a lot more. And the Vegeta Master's Temperament, it's a really good card. It's just, you don't really play it to, like, finish a game. It's got dual attack, 20k power, pretty good. And the odd is when you play this card and your leader card is yellow, if your opponent has 4 or more energy and a Cabba is in play in your battle area, choose up to 2 of your opponent's energy, switch them to rest mode, and cards chosen with this card's skill can't switch to active mode during your opponent's next charge phase. So it adds more to the energy stuff. And it has been ruled that you could choose your opponent's energy in rest mode already, and they still cannot switch them till they still can't switch them during their next charge phase. So really, really good card here. I tried this at multiple. I didn't really like it. I really do like it as a one-of because it, like I said, it can come in handy, but there's quite a few specifics that it needs in order to really kick off. And you do run some more Cabba cards, but overall, there's other things I'd rather be doing most of the time by that point. But again, if I happen to see it, it's great. All right, now we're gonna get into our negates and extras here. As far as negates go, the first two I'm going to be running is Cabba the Revoker. Now this is a really great card. So it's a 2-drop negate. It does negate the attack and you get to play him. And then the odd is when you play this card, if your leader is yellow, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and negate its skills for the duration of the turn. So what's really cool is that if something attacks with like a dual attack or triple attack, you get to go ahead and Cabba that, negate, and you go ahead and switch that and negate all of its skills. So you get to do that. You get to negate something else that has, like, say, double strike, triple strike, critical. You don't have to target the attacking card. It can be anything. Well, any battle card. And for my other negates, I am going to be running 3 copies of Time Magic here. Now, ignoring barrier to keep something in rest mode is really great for us because things with dual attack, triple attack are still a thing. Shenron Gogeta is still very much a thing. Not to mention also, this is a thing that you'll be facing a lot, so Time Magic helps with that quite a bit. And the whole Sparking 5, you do meet that a little more often than you would think, even with Cabba as your leader, so it really does come in handy. It's a really great card. And last but not least, I'm going to wrap it up with 3 copies of Senzu Bean, just because Senzu Bean is arguably the dumbest card that has ever been printed. And how this isn't illegal yet, how Bandai has not banned Senzu Bean yet, I don't know. But it's still here, and we're still going to abuse it. And with that, guys, that does it for my Cabba version of the Universe 6 deck. I'm still kind of working some stuff out with it right now, but I do enjoy this list at the moment. There are a plethora of ways to build Universe 6 because we have so many cards to work with. We have the old red cards to work with. We have all these new ones here to work with. We have so many leaders to work with. Like, it's crazy. It is insane how many different ways you can build this deck. So with that, guys, if you all enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, like and comment down below. And with that, guys, I hope you all have a fantastic day. We'll see you all next time, and you've all been released.